This episode is personal. How understanding blood glucose levels helped me overcome my sugar addiction and emotional eating. Hey, I'm Lara, an artist, educator and entrepreneur who's danced through life in Australia, London and California. Now I'm an Aussie in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Juggling roles as an artist, ex-dancer, current actor, author, professional educator and qualified life coach, I'm also a wife and mother of two. Join me on this podcast crafted for creative souls at every level, entrepreneurs, artists, dreamers, and hope-filled humans alike. I'm here to guide you towards a life of love, purpose, adventure, and boundless creativity. As a healthy, wealthy, and wise creative soul, I invite you to hit subscribe for weekly inspiration. Anticipate solo episodes, exclusive interviews with creative luminaries, and insightful discussions with my hottie hubby Andrew, a specialist performance physical therapist, as we delve into the dynamics of relationships and more. Dive into a 360-degree view of making a creative life you'll love. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist. I'm Lara, your host. This episode is personal. How understanding blood glucose levels helped me overcome my sugar addiction and emotional eating. If you yearn for more energy, better well-being, and freedom from being addicted to sugar, many of us find ourselves trapped in a cycle with this of, oops, I did it again. I made a choice that didn't go with my health goals for my life, and I seem to be trapped in that cycle. Well, that was me. And I desperately wanted to change my lifestyle and be healthier. So I hear you. And now I can tell you I've got more energy, better well-being, incredible laser-sharp mental focus, and productivity through the roof since I worked out this hack. So stay tuned because I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in my story. But wait, friends, first of all, a little disclaimer. I couldn't do this without a disclaimer because this is not prescriptive advice. It is a personal testimony. You need to take that and weigh it up for your own life, your own well-being. In the show notes that for this very episode, you can find more about my story, my background with dance and eating disorders and disordered eating, as well as episodes that I've done with a functional medicine professional. And you've got fantastic resources that you can go to and listen for advice from experts in that area. I am not a nutritional expert. I am an artist. And so as you listen to this, keep that in mind. I'm grateful for the freedom that I now have. And a lot of what I'm telling you comes from science. But again, weigh it up for yourself. Disclaimer over. All right, let's dive in. The pressure my dancing career caused. This is not uncommon for artists, but particularly those that are dancers. But navigating a career in the performing arts has amplified the pressure for me to maintain a certain physical appearance. And I've wrestled with that, and it caused disordered eating habits as I strive to meet those expectations. However, I have transcended these challenges at this season of my life, and I'm grateful for that. And I have healthier habits and behaviors that have really revitalized my well-being. Here I share transformative tips that have helped propel me towards the health and the freedom from those sorts of behaviors. But first, it's not about being perfect. It's not about perfect eating. It's about awareness of what food is doing in your body. So throw away that black and white thinking because it doesn't serve you. Take it from me. At Christmas time, after a big season of being off sugar, I accepted some sugar at a friend's house and enjoyed it very much, but very, very quickly, that sugary treat became this quick sugar spike and I could feel it and I wanted more. And I had been off it, so I really did notice what was going on in my body. And it led me back very quickly into an old familiar cycle of glucose spiking sugar addiction. And it's because the more you have it, the more your blood sugar shoots up, the more the dopamine goes and you get in this cycle. And you think, oh my gosh, why can't I control myself? Why am I the only person like this? I thought that for years, and it wasn't me. It was me not understanding what was happening in my body and what sugar and glucose spiking does to your overall well-being. And the amazing thing is that I noticed very quickly things that previously, when I was on sugar all the time, I never noticed. Suddenly, it was like my mental clarity disappeared. My energy disappeared. And I had this overwhelming, groggy desire to just lay down and sleep. And I recognized the stark contrast to how I had felt living a lifestyle without sugar and keeping my blood sugar low. I was determined after that to regain control, and it was quick this time. Unlike the past, because I hadn't experienced freedom, I very quickly went, no, I'm not going back into sugar's grip. I can feel the difference, and this is how I want to live my life. With unwavering determination, I just committed myself to go back to how I was, and very quickly, those sugar cravings disappeared, my friends. And it's not like I don't have sweet things when I'm right now in my life preferring to live as sugar-free as possible. But it's things like having a stevia sweetened chocolate, because even though it's not a low-calorie food, it actually stops that blood sugar spike, and very quickly I can stop eating it because it doesn't have the effect in the brain of, oh, I want more. Or having some nice, good, healthy fat, like some berries. I'm talking like an avocado or some berries or a nice Greek yogurt that isn't sugar sweetened. Those sorts of things have helped me to still have that feeling of having treats and having nice things without actually going back into the dopamine sugar glucose cycle. For those who might not know, when you eat sugar, your blood sugar spikes really, really high, and it's different for each person. Like, there is actually a scale. There'll be the diabetics that, for them it's just not a good idea, and then you can be in this blood sugar spike level that's pre-diabetic, and then you can have a fairly healthy one. And when you start to actually monitor it, and I use a blood glucose monitor where you just prick your finger. Some have a continuous one on their arm. It's very in vogue. In the show notes you can get the one I've got. And it tells me after I eat how the food's actually affecting me. And that was really, really eye-opening for me, because I could see, oh my gosh, it's gone up into like a pre-diabetic range by eating that food. And I was able to bring it down and keep it really stable and stop the spiking. And by doing that, the cravings for sugar also disappeared. Funny that. There was once a time where you had to go to the doctor to even find that information. And now you can just have it at home, literally at the tip of your fingertips. Pardon the pun. And it doesn't hurt too much. It's just a quick little prick on the finger. And then I put the little drop of blood onto the monitors, and I can check, exactly where it is. And it beeps and it tells me. And that knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is incredibly powerful, especially when you take it into your own hands. So I have cut it out again. It might be occasionally that I have a tiny bit. It's not very often. I'm not into black and white anymore. I'm not into all or nothing. But let's talk about balancing glucose, because it is for everybody. Balancing your glucose levels is incredible. It helps you feel better. It reduces the risk of various health issues. Constant spikes in glucose, even if you don't have diabetes, as I said, can lead to problems like cravings, fatigue, inflammation, which is linked to many diseases. And balancing your glucose levels also supports your overall health, including your heart, brain, and immune system. Now, there's so much more research into the gut. In fact, there was an incredible documentary. I think it's Hack Your Health, and it was something about the gut, and it's on Netflix right now. Living in a way that balances your glucose levels has numerous benefits supported by scientific research, and you'll experience reduced hunger, fewer cravings, improved energy levels, and just better sleep. And your immune system will be more robust. And I'm telling you, since I've done this, the amount of times that I've got sick has gone down drastically since being aware more of my gut, probiotics, eating healthier fats, and that kind of thing. And, for people that might be going through a menopausal symptoms or that stage of life, that actually has been seen scientifically to be reduced as well. And additionally, your brain function will improve. And I can testify to that. And that is the science and the research that's coming out of this, leading to clearer thinking, and your skin will appear healthier. So this topic is very relevant to healthy, wealthy, wise artist, because what I do on this podcast is about creating a life that is a 360-degree life, building a life of love, purpose, adventure, and boundless creativity. And it takes looking at all the aspects of our life, because if your health is affected, your art is affected. If your art is affected, it can affect your mental health, and it just goes round in a circle. That's why these things matter. Every part of the artist's life, the creative life, matters. So let's dive in a little deeper. I personally have chosen to adopt a ketobiotic approach to eating. And when I say that, I mean healthy, like a nice, for example, for me, I might have broccoli and some steak, or I might have an avocado and some tomatoes or something. I love food like that. But then I have things that are kind of probiotic focus, which help the gut, as I said earlier. But whatever you choose to do is really what's right for your body. But that particular type of eating keeps my blood sugar low, because that's what those foods do, while keeping me satiated, and it's got flavor, which is so, so good. Better than when I was growing up and fat was definitely out of the picture. Healthy fat is now in. So really for me now, I'm trying to focus on foods that have a minimal effect on blood sugar. You will always go up a little bit when you eat. That's natural and it's normal. But what you're trying to avoid, if you are being more aware of what you're putting into your body, is the really huge spike. And the truth is that if you live a life where you spike and you spike and you spike and you spike, that's why diabetes is so, and I'm not talking about all kinds of diabetes, the diet related one, that's why it's so, so common. Because after a while, your body just says, hey, I can't do this anymore. So listen to your body. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But really balancing it, it's for everybody. So like I said, I focus more on probiotic rich foods for gut health. I use a blood sugar monitor, and it's given me a personal picture of what my body's doing, and it can for you too. And what I thought was a personal weakness, I just can't give up sugar, I'm ridiculous, I keep failing, I keep hijacking my own health goals. I realized that it was a cycle of spiking and dropping, and it was affecting my self-control and my well-being. The body is very good at sending very strong messages for what it wants and what it thinks that it needs. And if you've been eating a lot of sugar, it's like, give me that, because that's where I got my energy from. But it can also change. Your cravings can change, as mine have. One of the things is that I didn't do this alone. So I want to share some of the tools and resources that I have used that can help you find the liberation in your life and learn a bit more about this area as well. One of the things that's really important is learning to be friends with your body again. Oh my gosh, the years that I looked in the mirror and I spoke so unkindly to myself. And now I see that self-talk and it doesn't help. But the other thing is I had years of not listening to my body. It was like I was at war with my own body. And many of us feel very out of touch with what our body actually wants. And reconnecting with our body and cultivating a friendship with it really will help you moving forward. Our bodies aren't intentionally misbehaving. They're just striving to sustain our lives. The issue often lies in our disconnect from our physical selves. Fortunately, a wealth of scientific knowledge is available to guide us back to harmony. And I haven't done this alone. There's an abundance of valuable research and resources. For instance, the glucose goddess method. And like I said, I'm not black and white about anything. I just like to grab resources and, grab from here, grab from there. But it's spearheaded by biochemist Jessie. It aligns with scientific research, emphasizing the critical role of stable blood sugar levels in your overall health. And Jessie's endorsement underscores the scientific foundation that really supports managing blood sugar for optimum well-being. The other thing is body and soul mindfulness along this area of becoming friends with your body. Again, it's got a huge impact. And I learned to be mindful of my food choices, especially in the morning, and the body, the tummy and mind connection. And as the morning, what I put in my body and anybody, really, that initial spike in your blood sugar levels could set the tone for the rest of the day, meaning once it spikes and you want more sugar and you want more. So not letting that spike happen in the morning is very, very powerful choice. That might look like having, a healthy fat or a protein instead of a high carbohydrate sort of meal. But these spikes have been wreaking havoc on a lot of people's mental health, energy levels, focus, sleep patterns. And again, it's about being mindful, not about perfection. I want to reframe sugar because it's about conscious eating and understanding its impact on your body rather than trying to control your eating in order to get your body to look or feel the way you want. It's about saying, hey, thank you, body. You're just trying to help me. You're just giving me the feelings to keep me alive. I want to choose this. I'm not going to be mindlessly controlled by every craving that comes up. You'll get a lot of urges, especially when you're shifting your diet, but you can learn to dismiss them and eat adequately and eat healthily, and you'll be amazed what it can do for this overall area of your well-being. We're also told to understand food labels and marketing tactics, but it's very, very vital, but you've got to be so careful because there's like keto friendly on products and no sugar added, and they don't always mean that it's a healthy product, and labels can be really misleading. So it's a wise idea to actually educate yourself. There's heaps of stuff online that you can do around this topic. I want to just go into some other helpful hacks that have really helped me to organize my week and my life. And you often see on my Instagram, I post a lot of pictures of the things I'm eating. I cook a lot of stuff from scratch. Again, it's not a weight loss diet. It's a well-being and lifestyle change that I've made. I do that with the understanding of blood glucose levels, and that it has helped me overcome my sugar addiction and in particular my emotional eating. I'm able to control it in healthier ways. We all get emotional. We all have our things we do when we want to numb. Everybody does something, but some people won't go to food and others will. If you're one of the lucky ones like me that's found it in food, it's a lot easier to control once you control the blood sugar spikes. But there's some fun things that I've discovered, and I think you can try them. Just try them and see what happens. Incorporating, for example, physical activity, even just 10 minutes of dancing after a meal, can help you regulate your glucose levels and promote overall health. So like that might be dance while you do the dishes. It's fun. It's good for you. It's playful. It will put you in a more creative mood. But by playing with some new strategies and daring to give it a go and aligning my lifestyle with my body's needs, I've experienced like this freedom and vitality. And it's really not about perfection, but it's progressing towards a more balanced and fulfilling life. And I believe as a life coach that you can design, within reason of course, but you can design your life if you're intentional and you actually get laser focused on where you want to go, and you set those goals and you break them down and you take action. But here are 5 simple, actionable steps that have helped me to break free from the shackles of disordered eating and move towards my wellness goals. And I want to share those with you as well. Number 1, define clear goals and weekly planning. So start by setting specific goals and breaking them into manageable steps. Design a weekly menu. There's so many great apps that actually, you can put in what sort of is a healthy calorie range for you. Calories are not out of fashion. They're still a good measure. And yes, it'll be macro and all of that in there. And they do the meals for you, and it makes sure it calculates it to what your body needs once you've put your data in. So it doesn't have to be a drama. Number 2, prep meals in advance as much as you can. So check for meal ingredients in the morning to ensure that they're ready. So I look at my app, I look at the recipes, I go, oh, I'm having salmon tonight, and I make sure it's out of the freezer. It doesn't take long, but it just is getting that habit into your life, because what happens is otherwise you get home, it gets to the end of the day, you're starving, you haven't thought ahead, and you grab some high carbohydrate, high sugar, whatever it is, because your body's saying, I'm hungry, and it sends those sugar or carbohydrate cravings or those salt cravings or whatever it is. The body's just trying to get its nutrition in the best way. It's keeping you alive. So give it what it needs and teach it, train it, that it can get it from different things, and your cravings will change. Number 3, embrace diversity and flexibility. And what I mean by that is avoid meal monotony. Experiment with various recipes and ingredients. It's part of creativity. It's part of being playful. And let them align with your health goals, of course, but being boring is not good. I remember when I was dancing and I was trying to eat the right way, and I'd have this no dressing on my salad and some plain chicken, and I just didn't know how to make healthy food exciting and tasty and fun. But, allow some flexibility within the weekly menu as well, because you might go, okay, I planned chicken for tonight, but I don't feel like it. But I've got this other thing that was tomorrow. I'm just going to swap it around. For me, that's what I do all the time, because sometimes I just want what I want, but I've got, a bit of choice within my weekly menu to swap things around. And you save a lot of money when you plan your meals as well. A lot of people these days, they just grab food on the way home from work. It almost always is going to be stuffed with sugar, salt, and a bunch of chemicals. So really finding quick, healthy, my meal's 15 minutes or less. I chose that on the app. Number 4, prioritize consistency, not perfection. And I say this about creativity as well. Rather than going, I need to be perfect, think about, I need to be consistent. Consistency is paramount for sustaining progress towards your health goals and embracing those healthy habits that lead to long-term success. Same thing goes for your creativity, that if you get stuck in the fear of perfection, it actually will affect your productivity. But if you focus on, I'm going to be consistent. Okay, I had a hiccup today. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be consistent from after this moment. I'm going to keep going. You will get to where you want to be long term. And that is life. And it's not black and white thinking, which is very good to avoid. All right, number 5, bonus tip, incorporate workouts. Now, while this is not directly related to eating habits, exercise is essential to a healthy lifestyle. I know some of you do, some of you don't, but I set specific exercise goals and I schedule the workouts, and it's a non-negotiable in my schedule. So I don't argue with myself, I just do it. And put it in your calendar to ensure that you get consistency and maximize your wellness journey. What people tend to do is they go overboard and they're like, I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to go every day. Not sustainable. It's best to start with something that is sustainable. Make it a habit. So, for example, you might go, I'm going to start with 2 days a week and I'm just going to do 20 minutes per session. That way you're doing a little bit at a time, and you're making, and it's not this big thing. It's not like I'm going to be there for an hour and a half and I'm going to, it's just little bit by little bit moving forward and making it sustainable. Schedule everything, and short sessions are better than nothing. A short walk is better than nothing. Couple your exercise with something else you like a podcast or some personal growth or whatever it is for you. But by prioritizing your health and making sure that your life matters to yourself first and foremost. Your health matters to you. But incorporating these things into your routine can make significant improvements to your health and can gradually unfold into creating that life that you really seek. Remember, success often lies in simplicity. So mapping out your goals, planning your tasks, your meals, and consistently working towards them paves the way for a purposeful life. Avoid all or nothing yo-yo. Just keep at it. Like I said, be consistent. These intentional actions can steer you towards that energy you want, that focus you want, and the more fulfilled version of yourself. Dedication, persistence, you will progress towards those health aspirations. Check out the research for yourself. You can go to the show notes. I've got the links to some of the things I've suggested. And you can actually learn. There's the blood glucose monitor. You can learn what is going on in my body, because every piece of your life affects another. When you're having a bad time in a relationship, it affects your mental health, which can affect your eating, and so on and so on and so on. So as you create your creative, beautiful artist life, or whatever that is for you, entrepreneurial, creative endeavors, make sure that you realize that everything is connected. So I want you to know that it is a great time to have life coaching with me. I am excited to work one-on-one with you. You can go to larabiancapilcher.com to book a session. On my website, there is so many resources now, lots of blogs, lots of other episodes on this podcast. If you've enjoyed it, hit subscribe. It helps me. If you want to write a comment or leave a review, that would help bless me so much. If you're still here and you're still listening, there's also my social media, and I've now got the Creative Purpose Journal, which I created, which is like a life coach and an artist journal in one, and it works for anybody that's creative. It's absolutely fantastic, and you can get that at my website too. And as always, friends, I'm with you on the journey. Until next time. Phew, today's masterclass is done. I love reaching back and saying I've done this and helping you learn the easy way. If you want more, head to larabiancapilcher.com for show notes, links, freebies, my blog, coaching and courses, and you can also head to my socials, Lara Bianca Pilcher on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on Twitter and Pinterest. Thanks again for listening. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. That would mean the world to me. And of course, keep on living the healthy, wealthy, wise artist living towards your dream life. Bye, friends. P.S. Shout out to my hottie hubby, Andrew Pilcher, who does all the editing on this podcast.